Ladies and gentlemen, I have Ferruccio, your very own Frank Ferruccio on
Look, and I have you right next to me.
yeah, I'm here and I'm there, I'm everywhere. It's so awesome. Oh man, this is so great because I
I have
I
Debbie too, and
oh
this is one of the little wallet
yes.
ones that Todd explained about on the show.
Yeah. And your house is a veritable museum.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a fun house. It's got to be like your house, you know.
It's a fun house. People love coming over here because of all the things to look at and see and history.
I would be in seventh heaven,
Yes.
hanging out with Todd
Yep.
because I would appreciate every stick of furniture and having the Cleopatra bed and I mean, oh my God, I would die.
Yeah, we have a lot of really cool things actually from Cleopatra, and they're getting old, of course, now,
Oh my
and
God.
clothes are easier to keep than things that are made out of wood, especially props, because they get old and then they get fragile. So, you know,
Well, I have Jayne Mansfield's desk that I actually wrote both my books at, and I'm sitting at right now.
okay, I'm going to show
And
everybody what you're talking about. Okay.
it's yes.
So Ferruccio has written two books about Jayne Mansfield, and this is so interesting to me. So I want to ask you about that, and and a documentary where you had actors play the roles.
Yeah, it's actually a feature film. It was independent, and it was picked at the Hoboken International Film Festival.
Oh, that is so great. I know how hard it is to make
Uh,
any kind of any movie, documentary, movie, and it's a labor of love. You know you're not going to get rich off the documentary. So you those of us who do documentaries, we do it not for the money, but we do it for the passion and the love of it, because you might make a little money, but in general documentaries don't. Uh,
yeah, I did not make back my production costs.
Right, and that's the usual. That's the norm.
Yeah.
And so when a documentary makes money, it's miraculous. But it's such a labor of love and passion. And we're going to watch this tonight. So I will have
Oh, awesome.
yeah. So I will be able to talk about it when we give them away. Thank you for giving us these to give away
Oh,
to your people out there.
I'll give as many if you want more after that. I mean, I
Oh,
I like getting the movie out there. As I said, it was a labor of love,
labor of
and
love. Yes.
that car that is on the front of cover of that was actually Jayne Mansfield's actual 1959 Cadillac.
Oh, wow. Diamonds to dust. Okay, so it's funny. I've met so many people that feel connected to or passionate about an actor, actress. Especially iconic people from the past, more so than today. But I've never seen anybody as passionate about Jayne Mansfield as you are, and so I just want to know, when did that start, and how did that start?
Well, I was pretty much an only child. My parents had me when they were almost 50. So my brother and sister were like so much older, and I didn't really have any friends. So I was alone and I watched old movies with my parents. And Marilyn Monroe was my favorite. And every time Marilyn was mentioned, Jayne Mansfield came up. And I was like, who is this Jayne Mansfield? And to me, she seemed like a cheap copy of Marilyn. But the more I found out about Jayne, that she was a genius. She had 163 IQ. She spoke fluently in five languages. She played the piano and the violin. So she was not a dumb blonde. and
Wow.
I became very fascinated. Plus, she was only buried like an hour from where I lived. So I went to her grave. I was 13, and I got my brother to take me, and her grave didn't have any flowers on it. She had a heart-shaped stone because she loved hearts. She loved the color pink, so she had a pink heart-shaped gravestone, but there were no flowers on it, and I thought that was really sad. But all her family was in California, and she was buried in Pennsylvania, where her parents and grandparents and she grew up as a little girl.
Hmm.
So I made it my mission to take care of her grave and put flowers on it 4 times, 5 times a year on her birthday, anniversary of her death, Christmas.
I come up here every year.
Frank Ferruccio is a man on a mission.
I kind of made it a mission to keep her memory alive.
To remember a screen legend.
This is my 30th year. I started when I was 14.
He makes this pilgrimage to Jayne Mansfield's grave at Fairview Cemetery 4 times a year.
It's a ritual that I never omit.
Oh, Mansfield. Jayne Mansfield, that is.
Mansfield was the classic true Hollywood story, a 1950s blonde bombshell with looks to kill.
Oh, I've been in men's bedrooms before.
And an attitude to match.
I always feel her here. I visited a lot of celebrity graves, but this is the only one that I ever had a feeling that totally took me over.
And it's so wonderful because you don't ever want anyone that was special to be forgotten. And so you doing this think about this. Ferruccio, this has been a lifetime commitment for you.
Oh, I know. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
I'm 53. I'm going to be 54. And I started when I was 13. So it's very, it's been more than half my life.
Yeah. And it's not so weird that you would buy a plot 3 stones away because, Hugh Hefner bought it in the crypt at Westwood Memorial.
Right next to Marilyn.
I think that was it below her or above her in the wall crypt?
It's right next to her.
Yeah.
It's right next to her.
Yeah. So, and he did that decades ago. Tell me, how did you come to write the books, and who did you interview? Who did you find out these facts and things from?
I interviewed everybody, but the majority of the knowledge came from years of being friends, because as I said, I met Mariska when I was 13 through the paper fan club.
Yeah.
And she really was incredible. She invited me over to her house which she was living with Mickey Hargitay and her father and her stepmother. And she invited me over, just random,
Wow.
And we hung out and we became lifelong friends. And I met her entire family through the years, all her brothers and sisters, and aunts, uncles. I met Jane's mother before she passed away.
Oh, wow.
So I really got closer than any of the fans had ever got.
Yeah.
And I loved Debbie's show. I know that she had many shows, many different versions of the show, but just her one-woman show was incredible.
Yeah. She was, she loved the people. She loved the audience.
She did.
Yeah.
A lot of her act was based around the audience.
Right.
Well,
and you would have loved the show that Todd and I were planning for her, because she had always said she wanted to entertain until the end. So, when she turned 81, 82, it was harder for her to
Sure.
dance and sing and all that. So we were thinking about a show for her that where it would be a one woman show about her life story, and of course there'd be singing in it, but not as strenuous, and the story would be furthered along by videos, and it was going to be really cool, and she was excited about that. So that would have been fun to do. If someone said to you, I am so passionate about, and they named an old actor or actress, would you encourage them to take this road that you have taken? Have you gotten a lot of joy from it?
Oh my God, yes. And I mean, I love old Hollywood, which, you know, it's sad because the younger generations don't even know who a lot of the older celebrities are.
Yeah.
And I mean legends like, Susan Hayward or Betty Grable or, other than Marilyn is always going to be infused into the world of entertainment.
Yeah.
But, other actors and actresses, it's unless there's people like us to educate the younger generations about them, I feel like they're like that I became Jayne Mansfield's activist because I didn't want anyone to forget about her.
Yes.
I loved Bright Lights, the documentary that Todd did with about Debbie and Carrie. I mean, it was just such a beautiful tribute to them. And I know it was filmed while they were still alive,
Mm-hmm.
but it was an amazing, like timing wise, that came out like right around the time that they both passed.
It's really a
And
miracle. It's a miracle, really, because it could have not been finished, and the directors, they were husband and wife directors, and it was a difficult time when they were filming because there was so much going on, and then Debbie got very ill, and Carrie was just going back to make Star Wars, and so it was difficult for them. There's no doubt about it, but I think it turned out to be an incredible legacy piece.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it as what other documentaries aspire they should be like Bright Lights, because it was just so intimate and wonderful, and just like it was like at the time that it came out, it was like such a sweet goodbye to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I I I took the death extremely. I mean, I went to see Debbie when I was 7 years old.
Oh.
My mother went to see Irene in New York, and we went backstage, and I got her autograph, and I have like candid pictures with Debbie from when I was like 7. And I felt, you feel like celebrities are a part, like your friends, especially when, you don't have a lot of friends growing up, and, you follow the celebrities and they feel like they're part of your life. Thank God we have things like your show to entertain us, because there's so little right now that's interesting, and your show is like so great.
No, thank
Because
you.
it's really great, and I mean, I thank you guys for doing that, because it gave us something to look forward to.
Well, I absolutely love doing it, and we always say we all heal each other, which is fantastic. That's we did it to be together with people, and had no idea it would morph into what it is. It's really great, but we all are there
It is great.
to heal each other. So thank you for
It
that.
is great.
Ferruccio,
No, it's great. It really
Ferruccio.
is.
I want to
That's
thank
me.
you. I really want to thank you for the time. And I just want to, Diamonds to Dust is the book, and did Success Spoiled Jayne Mansfield is the other one. We're going to give them away tonight, and also Diamonds to Dust, the docu-drama. So we're going to give those away, and then
That's awesome.
we'll also let people know where they can get this and get these books.
Okay.
And I'm just so grateful for you and for anybody who cares and loves people that have been gone a long time enough to keep them alive for others.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being a part of our audience all the time. I always look for you and Philip and all of our Seth, and I look for all I call the usual suspects, and I want people to know them too.
Yes. Thank
all right.
you.
Goodbye, love. Have a wonderful evening. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Now.